we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order.
Jody Diaz. Here. Tillman Stevens. Here. Corey Cole.
Present.
Chris Moyer.
Here.
Mike Crackler.
Here.
Sharon Rowley, present, and Eric Segovia is the only one absent. You have a quorum. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and approve the minutes of the previous meeting from August 12th. You had a chance to.
Motion to approve. Second.
Is that Corey Cole? Okay, thank you.
Second member to the- Yeah, TJ, would you like to give us a new sports update?
Yes, update will be a little quicker than last time. The purpose of this meeting was kind of get some numbers, some scheduling. We had a lot of unknown last time we met, so happy to say that registration has come and gone. We have started our season to some extent. We've completed flag football coaches meeting on last night, soccer coaches meeting on Tuesday. Volleyball coaches meeting will be tomorrow. Registration numbers for flag football, we had 163 registrants over across 4 divisions. Soccer, we had 167 across 4 divisions. Volleyball, we had 72 across the 2 divisions. Cheer right now as a pre-registration option where we did not take any payment because when we opened up cheer, the volunteers was the big kicker. After speaking with last year's coordinator, she said that they only had 2 volunteers, almost 100 signups. So just to kind of protect myself, make sure that we had something kind of safe, I did a pre-registration. Basically what they could do is they go on, just commit saying they would like to do cheer. Once I had enough volunteers compared with the number of participants, we can go ahead and pass through an actual registration where we will take the fees. They're a little bit slow played right now. The goal is to get them going by the end of fall, but they will also get to continue and cheer for the winter. So right now there was 59 commitments through that. I have 2 volunteers signed up, and then I had 2 volunteers who have contacted me who have not signed up, but I'm just waiting on confirmation. If we can get those 2, maybe another third, we'll be in a good spot to open that one up. Start dates, the target date right now. I've been kind of telling coaches a couple different things of how it's all going to depend on, uniforms and stuff like that. So right now the target is to start flag football and soccer on September 30th. Volleyball September 27th. All sports will be wrapped up and finished by the end of October. Flag football and soccer will not play past October 23rd. We skip that Saturday the 25th because that is Eastern's homecoming. Volleyball, if we need to use that Tuesday or Thursday after the 25th, I will do so, but I don't foresee us needing to do that. I had talked in the first about I was working on potentially affiliating our leagues with this company called RCX Sports, where they get affiliation with the NFL, the Major League Soccer organization, and I figured out after that the NBA and WNBA as well. Very proud to say that we have gotten that across the finish line as of Tuesday. I worked very diligently with our insurance policy holder to make sure that we were doing everything properly, protecting ourselves, and making sure that this is going to be a well-run partnership. And so as of Tuesday, we got that completed. I also want to point out a very special thank you to Ms. Rudd, who is in attendance. She was also a big help with a lot of this terminology that I couldn't understand. So she was a huge help in making sure that got across the finish line in the proper legal terms and that kind of things. Next on the agenda is obviously getting fall sports started. We are on the cusp. We expect practices to get going next week as we wrap up coaches meetings tomorrow. That's another exciting feat, which I think we will meet until then. Small registration will open up October 6th. It will commence on November 9th with us being able to run an evaluation tryout week for the divisions, like the second week of November, transitioning into coaches meetings the following week. We should have rosters assembled and everything before Thanksgiving, allowing us to start practices the first week of December. We will have practices up until winter break and then the season to begin on January 10th. Other than that, that is the only updates I have. And if there are any questions, you're welcome.
That's all you did?
That's all I did. That's all I did.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Just out of curiosity, how are those numbers matching up to last fall? Do you have access to last fall's numbers?
I don't, I from the past, I think they were from maybe fall 23 and spring 22. And to be very honest with you, I'm drawing a blank on what those numbers looked like, so I cannot confidently say where they match up, but for a very short registration starting so late in the game, I'm very, very pleased with these numbers. I can already tell you a few people off the top of my head who made other arrangements just to make sure that they do have some kind of fall sport for their child, whether that be Gordon Clovis, some kids playing tackle football and fall, however that may be. So I'm kind of thinking that that's way maybe, but I expect us to jump back up when we can actually run a full registration next year. So fall registration, what it'll look like is it'll open July 1st, 2026. And it'll run until the first or second week of August. So people will get a full 4 or 5 weeks to register. I think we did really well. I know everybody was kind of had made the concern with a short registration. Some people with payment issues and stuff. I hadn't run into that. The website and portal that we also use allows for a payment plan if need be. I think some people did take it, but I think a lot of people actually just got it done, paid in full, and made it happen. So very excited, very pleased for this fall to actually get going. Coaches received really well because I told them, you know, this schedule, the season is going to look very fast and furious, but given the circumstances, we want to get something on the table for the kids. And told them next year it will look a lot different. It won't look so congested, so quick, and you know, that's something to look forward to. So, you know.
And in expectation of maybe next year being larger, are we gonna go ahead and order enough jerseys and stuff to kind of cover us for next year, or wait and see how?
About what the way we're going to do it is we do it on a season to season basis. We in excess in anticipation for next year. And then that is the beauty about these this company that we are partnered with these leagues. So for example, they take when they register, when all these kids go through registration, how many jerseys, let's take for example flag football, 163 signups. So they take that as 163 registrations. So coming in, we get 163 sets of flags, one per kid. We will also get a NFL branded football size of my choice for every 5 kids that signed up. So I believe that that comes into like 32 footballs that's coming along with the affiliation. Soccer does the same thing. They get the full uniform. They get reversible jerseys, shorts, and socks. For every 10 kids, we do get a soccer ball for these kids. So that is the beauty about making sure that we do this one season at a time, because anything they said that I can order 10 extra jerseys outside of registration, and they do make me, you know, be upfront and honest, and they do have access to my registration numbers just to make sure that, you know, I'm not taking advantage of the football saying we had 300 signups and it's only 163. So
if you don't mind, I can answer a little bit of that. I think the numbers are really good. I think it's because everybody knows it's a late start. I think you'll get a ton more next year and they'll watch. I think we started like fall of 22, I used soccer. It was the most favorite. It was the favorite. So 22, we had 241. We did a spring season for that as well, 229, fall 265, spring of 24, 242. And then some of them are a little bit different than others. You're really good on the cheer. I mean, you're almost at not quite 100%, really good on that. I anticipate it to get better as people see.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't want to say those numbers and it sounds disparaging. I think you've done well, and it'll get stronger and stronger as they see
Yes.
So,
Basically, in comparison to what Miss Valley just said, you said 220-ish for soccer.
241, the lowest
240.
number was 229 and the highest number was 265.
So I think a lot of that could be, again, with 167, did not open it up for, unfortunately, the seventh and eighth graders. I sat down with Greg, our coordinator, who is some guy. I'm very excited to work with him. And he said a lot of the struggles they had with the seventh and eighth graders the last 2 seasons was they had to run an extended amount of registration, longer than the normal period, basically have to go recruit just enough to make 2 teams. And so unfortunately, with the very little amount of time that I did have, I just went ahead and just skipped it just for this fall. We're going to explore it in the spring. We will open it a little bit longer, maybe hold it open longer for them for that case, and kind of maybe do the cheer thing where we see what numbers we look like before we collect any kind of payment. But I felt like if I were to open up for seventh and eighth graders, I would have gotten 16 signups, taken 16 payments, and I can't run a well-run season or a proper season like that. So I just avoided that just for this fall. I did get some parents ask, and they are excited to hear about it for spring. So hopefully spring it lands, and we'll kind of go from there.
And really, I mean, I predict that in the next year, year and a half is what it's going to take to really get people seeing how the program's going, buying in, wanting to get involved. I mean, with the change, there's going to be speculation, concerns, everything like that from parents. So I think that worrying about the numbers right now is not worth it. We got enough kids that we can have a season, and that's what's important, so that we can get, whether it's 100 kids or 200 kids, that's that many that are involved with something. So,
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Move on to the next item for our next meeting.
You want to hold one in December, January? What are we looking at?
I think December would be perfect. That's 3 months from now. That's right after we'll finish up basketball registration. So I'll have numbers, I'll have schedule, I'll have all that stuff ready for you guys in December. And then we'll have plans for spring soccer and some other things that Chief Williams and I have been talking about, and we're cooking up for in the spring as well.
You have December 4th and December 11th.
No preference.
Summer, so you don't.
December 4th,
Let's go. There we go.
okay, same time.
Sure.
awesome.
There's any other business?
The only item I had was just, he and I have worked hard together trying to get the schedule straight. We have I think a really good schedule. We did have to adjust times a little bit, for facilities use. At this time, the district will waive the deposit fee, unless we have problems or whatever. And we'll kind of go from there, but I do need to get you that for the signature. So if you want to come by, we are at work tomorrow. Or Monday, but I'll get, that way we're fully executable on the agreement and the MOU.
I'll be by tomorrow then.
Awesome.
So right now, volleyball is gonna be the only indoor sport, right?
Yes, sir.
And have you had that parent, the coaches meeting?
I haven't had the coaches meeting yet. I put that one last because as of last Friday, this Monday, numbers were expected. So, cool thing about this registration is the 6th, if you go and sign up, it doesn't take your payment, it puts you on a waiting list. I get an email saying Stevens has registered to be put on the wait list for what it is. So then I can judge off judge off coaches. I've been able to actually reach out to people and say, hey, if you coach, I can lighten the numbers up and we can make this work. And I've actually had a couple say, let's do it. I can click a button, it kicks it right back to them saying you're activated. Please log on and pay, and then we can put them into a roster.
I don't know if you mentioned this in the soccer and football coaches meetings, but the school's facilities is kind of all the facilities we have, so just stress to coaches to make sure they let the kids and the parents know to take care of the facilities and pick up the trash and that, so.
Absolutely.
Make sure we keep a good relationship. That's a pretty big deal, that's having this access to.
And I think each principal can be that go-between. If there's something, it doesn't have to come all the way to me, but that's generally what we used to do. If there were facility issues, we would speak to that principal if they had an issue and get that solved. The only other item, and I should have asked for this to be on the agenda, and I apologize, but is that the district would expect that you follow the clear bag policy. I know that seems to be a point of contention I've seen online and for people around don't care. We're gonna do the clear bag policy. I appreciate the input, but there's items they don't know or don't understand. It's a felony to bring a weapon into our facility. And so we really ask, don't bring a bag. I've gotten to where my cards are right here and I just walk around with my phone, but we do need to follow the clear bag policy. The only issue that can create us is I have people at my front door because we're taking funds, right? So I have someone that can check through a diaper bag. We do allow a diaper bag, but it can be checked. So I don't think we'll have a lot of problems with it, but I do ask that we put that out to parents. Hey, don't bring your bags. If you need a diaper bag, come in, let one of us check it. That's the problem, is we're not gonna have very many people for checking. But I think we just say, sorry, it's the school's rule and we don't want those weapons in here, so don't bring your bag. It helps with alcohol, all kinds of things. I don't know. There's a lot of questions around that, but I don't care to talk about them here, but I don't care. That's our policy. We want to keep our children safe, and I would think probably this board would agree that we want to make sure. Difference is I have an officer there. We wouldn't have an officer there. But my discussion has been, why aren't the kids doing it? Why the parents are the ones that have been the problem? So the more we can just keep that as not an issue, the better off we'll be. So also I'm helping them by reminding them, because some people I think maybe have a license or conceal and carry and they have it in their purse or something and they forget. So this is just a great reminder for them, and then we don't all of a sudden have an issue. So I don't know if any of y'all had thought about that. I'm gonna make it a requirement. I hope everybody's okay with that.
Absolutely.
That we just follow that as this is what the district has asked, so we'll do the same.
That's for clarification, so I coach too, so typically most of my games, I bring a duffel bag with balls and stuff in there, would that be okay?
Yeah, when you read through that, I don't know if you saw it, comes out on I think Facebook and something, but there is a caveat for coaches and players.
Okay.
For us, it would be high school kids or junior high, here they come with their bags, those are an exception.
Okay.
And that's up to the coach to be checking, so if you have a question about one of your students, you need to be the one talking to the parent and making sure that kid doesn't have something they're not supposed to have, but the kiddos and the coaches, they can come in with their items, obviously.
I was gonna say, from the years I did Lindsay Gym, it wouldn't be that hard for a coordinator to go over between games and just look and see who all has a bag. And it might get in the door, but we could manage it that way without having an extra.
I could relay that message too. And
Yeah, I know I could have done that when I was.
And then I have 3 or 4 officers who are volunteering to help with the coordination. So
Great. That's good to hear. Thank you.
So will the coaches, I know it's hard to always tell who is the coach. Do we have any like a shirt or a tag or
I mean, no.
something on their bag saying coach?
Obviously our coordinators and myself will know, but unless, they get something on their own. I don't have any plans to slap a shirt on them that say coach or anything like along those lines. That's just, I know some coaches do, but obviously usually the adult nearest is on the sideline or something like that, that's, and then back to your, with the gyms and stuff, I've met with the principal, they have my cell phone number, so if there's any issues, they know they can contact me directly saying, hey TJ, this was left, dirty last night or something like that, so that way I can address it, fix it, and take care of it immediately.
The bags will help because they won't be bringing food, kids in their bag. And maybe we could just communicate with the coaches, if you could kind of pretend like you're a high school, junior high coach. Try to get your team to kind of sit together, this is where all the bags are, so it's very clear to us, to anyone who's helping. Or my staff as they're coming through, oh, that's obviously a team area, a team section. And we'll leave those bags alone, and then the coach can help remind them to pick it up. I'm fine with that, coaches and kiddos, if they need a bag, can have it, especially because if they were coming from somewhere else and needing to change, they're not really getting access to locker rooms. So we might need a bag to go to the bathroom.
Right?
We're looking at getting an ID printer. So we can probably do something like that and print IDs for the coaches. Have them put them on a lanyard or something or
Just the lanyard. PD lanyard, you could,
we got it.
there you go.
Yes. I don't think so, we just need to get him access to all the facilities, and I think there was some question about some keys, some actual keys besides a key.
And yeah.
So you're adjourned.
All right.